Hi and welcome back to Mountain Aromatics. Today I have for you another top 10. This is my top 10 of the aroma chemicals, nature identicals, isolates, that kind of a thing. So, just going to jump into it. Not that this can change because there's more materials that I'm beginning to learn and use, and so some of these that I don't know yet might slip in here, so I'll end up doing another top 10 in the future. But I will start with, and I'm going to butcher some of these names, so I don't know what to say. First one, Aphermate. It is from IFF. This to me smells like seawater. And not only seawater, it smells like concentrated seawater. Absolutely beautiful. You only need a drop or two, but super complex, super fresh. You can use it with the pines, the woods, florals, any of that kind of stuff. Think of seashore, but it's, I don't know, to me it's concentrated seawater, super strong. Obviously it's one of my top 10s. It's in a good way, in a beautiful way. It just is going to add sophistication to a formula, to a fragrance. Just use it in moderation. Next I have, I'm going to go back really quick. So this is a middle note, and it lasts for 12 hours on the test strip. So I'm going to say that with each one of those so you kind of know how long they last, that kind of thing. So when I say like a middle note, top note, base note, that kind of thing, it just pretty much means how big the molecules are. And typically it will have to do with how long they last, although I'm finding that's not necessarily true. But I'm just going to let you know, because some of you love to know if it's a top note, a base note, middle note, that kind of a thing. So I'm going to let you know. The next one is Javanol. Javanol is a sandalwood. It is... The sandalwoods are typically huge molecules that some people can't smell. Some people can, but some people can't. This one I can. It's 400 hours. It's almost all the sandalwoods are going to be 400 hours, and they're going to be a base. This one is super clean and creamy. It says that there's a little vanilla in here. I don't pick up the vanilla, but that's what's cool, because you might smell it and you might pick up that vanilla where I don't. And I may pick up something in here that you don't. And that's what's cool about fragrances. I love it. But this is pretty thick. See how it's dripping? It's beautiful with other types of woods in your florals with amber. They typically, the bottom line is they typically go with everything. But the Javanol, out of most of the sandalwoods, it's really my favorite. I really enjoy it a lot. And I think one of the reasons is because I personally can smell this one, and some of the other ones I can't necessarily smell. Next is Magnolys. I may be saying it wrong, but whatever. So this is a bright, fresh Magnolia. So I have to say, I'm from the South, and magnolia trees is the first thing I think of. But when I smell this, I'm like, that doesn't smell like the magnolia. So the magnolia tree produces magnolia flowers the size of dinner plates. Literally, they're massive. They smell like a sharp lemon, like just a sharp, pungent, lemony smell with bitterness to it. And that's always weird to me, because I'm like, that's magnolia? But that's from the magnolia tree, and that's the magnolia blossom from the magnolia tree in the South. And I've smelled them constantly. My whole life I've smelled those. In fact, less than 2 years ago I smelled one. This is not that. This has to be the smaller Magnolia flowers, because this is soft, it's clean, there's a tiny bit of lemon, but that's in the background for sure. Oh, I absolutely love this one. This one you can use in any type of floral composition that you're making. Doesn't matter what it is, this will go with it. This is by Firmenich. It is a middle note, and if I don't have the hours written down on here, because I usually write them on the bottle, it is because they're still in the testing phase with how many hours it lasts on the test strip, and I believe that's the case for Magnolys, as they are still testing. So that's why I don't have that written down. The other thing is these are ones, I don't know, I would suggest that you get, I think, if you're doing fragrances, these are a good bet for you. They're my favorite. Another Firmenich is fragrance from Firmenich is Firascone. It's like red rose, if you got the red rose and smelled it directly, but there's a little bit of fruit in the background. It's very distinctive. It's very complex. So it's, I don't know. It's not just a red rose smell. It definitely is, but it's way more complex, and a tiny bit of fruit blended in there as well to make it even more complex. This is really versatile. It goes beautifully with your florals. It's going to go beautifully with tobacco, vanilla, amber, the different types of woods, for example, sandalwood. This to me brings sophistication for sure to a formula. It is a don't be without. The next one is going to be Syringa Aldehyde. Yep, at 20%. I'm going to tell you, it's a middle note, I'm going to tell you to bring it to a 20%. You'll get it as 100%. It's too strong. It is the stem that you smell when you go into a flower shop. It's the green stems of the roses, of the different flowers. It's exactly what this is. It is just pure green, alive, living green stem, water consistency. Beautiful, beautiful. It will complete a floral formulation. It rounds it out and steps it up, and it just completes it. I think this green stem note adds more complexity and depth to a formula. I love using it all the time. So to me, anytime you're using a floral, this can be a great, just a drop, but can be a great way to give depth and just make your florals be more complex. Next one is Dorinia SA E. It is a true, it's a true rose smell, but it is a musk. So instead of just being just a musk and that's it, there's the red rose smell in here as well. Totally sophisticated, beautiful. If you have a hard time with musk, this one you will not have a hard time with at all. You can actually use up to 20% of this in a fragrance. It lasts for 300 hours and it's a middle note. You cannot go wrong with this at all. Absolutely beautiful, complex, and sophisticated. Next is, I'm going to butcher the name, Aurantia. When you get this, you're going to have to dilute it to 50%. I don't know if you can purchase it at 50%. If you can, purchase it at 50%. When you get it at 100%, it's not a solid, but it's not a pourable liquid either. It's in between those two. It is very, very difficult to work with, to the point where, I don't know, you could just ask, but maybe if you were going to get a half an ounce, ask them to put it in a 1 ounce bottle, because when you get home, you're going to need to put perfumer's alcohol or IPM, whatever you use, and fill the rest up with that. Because if you get it in a half ounce bottle, getting it out of here, good luck. You can do it. I did it, but it's very difficult to work with. But the payoff, whew, is amazing. It is, think orange blossom. Whew, it's absolutely beautiful. You can see how thick it is because there's nothing in here, and yet you can see the color that's left on it. It's a fixative, so it's pretty thick, and so it's best to use this because it's a orange blossom. Use it with your florals. Use it with like linden blossom, tuberose, and amber. But I'm going to also say I have used this with oud or agar wood, and it is fantastic, even for a masculine formulation. Using a tiny bit of this with your agar wood, so to have this in the background, florals just work really well with oud. I'm finding rose and orange blossom work the best for florals with oud, but that's my experience so far. They're beautiful. But this is one that I wouldn't be without. It's a middle note, top note, and it lasts 400 hours. So I love the orange blossom. I love this one. And again, it's Aurantia. But just heed my warning with how thick it is if you get it at 100%. Next is another Firmenich, Blackwood. It is a wood, so it's a base. It's 400 hours. This one is a tiny bit smoky, and it takes me back to childhood. This smell is the exact smell that a friend of mine, her house smelled like. Exactly like this. So to me, a little tobacco and wood, like 50-50. Firmenich kind of puts this down, I think, as a rich agar wood, although it is rich. To me, it's more of a regular wood type instead of an agar wood. I don't know. I don't see this as the agar wood or oud. I wouldn't put this in that camp. That's my opinion. Obviously I love it. It's here. It's a beautiful wood. Not only is it a beautiful wood, it's a sophisticated wood. It's amazing. So putting these two together will work well. It's beautiful. I love it. Again, if I didn't say this was rich and a tiny bit of smoke in the background, there's a little bit of tiny smoke in the background. Next is Dewfruit. Absolutely tropical. No coconut at all, but the tropical juicy fruit, starfruit. Maybe a tiny bit of lemon in the background, just a tiny bit, but it's just more fruit. Super clean. Forgot how many hours actually, so I don't have, if this is they haven't written on there if it's, what note it is, if it's a middle note, base note, top note, whatever, or the hours, so they must be still testing how long it lasts on the test strip. This one is so tropical, so beautiful, so clean. It is a must-have in my opinion. It's just beautiful. It's awesome. Next is Kephalis. Kephalis, I love it because it's so versatile. You can add this with any of the woods, any of your florals, any of your tobaccos, any of your ambers. It is 96 hours. It's a base, and it's one of those, I guess if I had to put it in a category, I would put it in the wood category, but it's almost like you can hear the hesitation in my voice because it's the point of it is that it's so versatile. It's not like, to me, like a wood, but there's wood in it. There's a like floral in the background. There's a little, so I'm saying it's complex. There's a little, I guess, not, I wouldn't say tobacco. It's a soft, almost creamy wood, a clean wood, and a light wood, not a dark wood, but a lighter wood. But I put it in so many of my formulas because it's super clean. It's absolutely beautiful. And to me, again, I've used this word a lot with these, it brings sophistication to your formulation. Sophistication to your formulation. There you go. Oh my God, that's awesome. But that's what it does. That's, to me, that's what all of these do when I think about it. And it just hit me just now that sophistication to a formulation right here. Here you go. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, why don't you go ahead and like this and subscribe. That would be awesome. So then you'll know the next time I put up a video or do another top 10. And I will see you on the next video, and hey, thanks again for joining me. I appreciate it, and I hope you have a lovely day.